In the spotlight tonight is Nick Cockroft from Hertfordshire, a researcher, and his specialist subject is the Endurance Expedition. Julie Bowring from Cambridge, a postgraduate student whose subject is the life and works of Eugene Smith. Michael Williams from Letchworth, a university lecturer, and his subject is California Sound from 1965 to 75. And Quinn from Liverpool, a software developer, and his subject, the history of forensic science. John Humphreys, welcome to Mastermind. 4 contenders all set to take to the stage, or rather the black chair, where they will answer the toughest questions on television. And the clock is the boss. 2 minutes on their chosen subject and then 2 minutes on general knowledge. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name?
Nick Cockroft.
Your occupation?
Researcher.
And your chosen subject?
The Endurance Expedition 1914 to 1917.
2 minutes on the Endurance Expedition, starting now. What is the Latin motto of the Shackleton family, which means by endurance we conquer, after which the ship was named?
Pass.
Which single word was the Admiralty's telegraphed reply to Shackleton's offer to place the entire expedition at the disposal of the country in the event of war breaking out?
Proceed.
Correct. From which bay on the Weddell Sea had Shackleton intended to begin his overland crossing of the Antarctic, following in the footsteps of Filchner?
Vassal.
Yes. What surgical operation was carried out on the stowaway Percy Blackborough on Elephant Island?
He had his toes amputated.
He did. The men gave individual names to their cabins, but what general name did they give to the winter quarters built between the decks when Endurance became stuck in the ice in 1915?
The Ritz.
Yes, the Endurance was originally called the Polaris, having been built at which shipyard in Sanufjord as a tourist vessel for Arctic cruises?
The Framnes shipyard.
Yes. Whom did Shackleton describe as the only man I'm not dead certain of in a letter written to his friend Ernest Parrish shortly before leaving South Georgia?
McNeish.
Yes. At what exact time did Shackleton give the order to abandon ship on the 27th of October 1915?
5 p.m.
Correct. What nickname was given to the ice block kennels that housed the dogs during the Antarctic winter of early 1915?
Pass.
With what 4 words did Matthias Anderson, the foreman at Stromness whaling station, describe Shackleton, Quinn and Worsley to the station manager Thoralf Suller when they arrived after crossing South Georgia?
Pass.
How many men were left on Elephant Island when Shackleton set off for South Georgia?
22.
Correct. Which public school-educated Royal Marines captain joined the expedition because he was an expert skier and a pioneer with motor sledges?
Audleys.
Correct. What did Shackleton allow Hussey to take from the wreck of Endurance, describing it as vital mental medicine?
His banjo.
Yes. How much did Shackleton's principal backer, Sir James Caird, contribute towards the cost of the expedition?
£24,000.
Yes. Who carried out the task of shooting McNeish's pet cat, Mrs. Chippy?
Wild.
Tom Crean. What was the name of the ship on which Shackleton, Worsley and Crean departed from South Georgia on their first attempt to rescue the men on Elephant Island?
Southern Sea.
Southern Sky. You had 3 passes, 3 funny-looking men. That's how Anderson described those 3 characters when he saw them arriving. The nickname they gave to the ice block kennels was Dogloos, for very obvious reasons, I suppose. And the Latin motto of the Shackleton family, Fortitudine Vincimus, if you'll forgive my Latin pronunciation. 3 passes, Nick Cockroft, 11 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Julie Bowring.
Your occupation?
I'm a postgraduate student.
And your chosen subject?
Eugene Smith.
The photographer, Eugene Smith, in 2 minutes. Which newspaper in Eugene Smith's home city of Wichita began publishing his photographs of sports events in 1934 when he was only 15 years old?
The Wichita Eagle.
Yes. At which educational establishment did Smith spend less than a year before leaving to study at the New York Institute of Photography?
Notre Dame University.
Yes. In November 1943, Smith was transferred from the USS Independence to which aircraft carrier?
USS Bunker Hill.
Correct. What was the name of the South Carolina midwife who featured in his 51 essay, Nurse Midwife?
Maud Collin.
Correct. In 55, Smith joined which cooperative agency that had been founded by Robert Capa and Henry Cartier-Bresson, among others?
Pass.
To which small town in Colorado did he go in 1948 to photograph Dr. Ernest Cheriani for his Country Doctor essay?
Kremlin.
Yes. A dispute about the contents of which photo essay led to Smith resigning from Life magazine at the end of 54?
A man of mercy.
Yes. Which people are pictured entering a forest through a clearing in his 46th photograph, The Walk to Paradise Garden?
His children, Juanita and Patrick.
Yes. In the 1940s, for which Sunday supplement did he work producing propaganda photographs to encourage American support for the war?
Parade.
Yes. According to the title of the photograph, what is 7-year-old Lorenza Curiel wearing in the photograph in the Spanish Village essay, which shows her mother locking the door of their house while other children look on?
Pass.
In November 77, Smith moved to which university in order to teach and also to organise his archive at its Centre for Creative Photography?
University of Arizona.
Yes. What name is on the street sign in the centre of a classic photograph taken in Pittsburgh in 1955 showing a mailbox numbered 1517 on the left, a car parked on some grass on the right?
Dream.
Yes. What name was given to his major retrospective exhibition which opened at New York's Jewish Museum in February 71?
Let truth be the prejudice.
Correct. What was the name of the infantryman Smith was following during the battle for Okinawa when he was seriously wounded by a mortar shell?
Pass.
What is the name of the girl who was badly deformed as a result of mercury poisoning and is being bathed by her mother in a picture from the Minamata essay?
Tomoko Uemura.
Correct. In which New York street? I've started, so I'll finish. In which New York street is the studio loft that Smith moved into when he left his family in 1957?
6th Street.
No, 6th Avenue. You had 3 passes. Terry Moore was the infantryman whom Smith was following. Her first communion dress, that's what that little girl was wearing. And the agency that Smith joined in 55 was Magnum. Those 3 passes, Julie Bowring, 12 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Michael Williams.
Your occupation?
University lecturer.
And your chosen subject?
The California Sound from 1965 to 1975.
In 2 minutes, starting now. What is the title of the Birds 65 album, which features 4 Bob Dylan songs, including Chimes of Freedom?
Mr. Tambourine Man.
Yes. Which singer was born Ellen Naomi Cohen and made her name with the group that she formed with John and Michelle Phillips and Denny Doherty?
Mamas and the Papas.
Mama Cass. What is the title of the song also covered by Jefferson Airplane, which is the opening track on side 2 of the 69 album Crosby, Stills and Nash?
Triad.
Wooden Ships. Which band formed in 66 after a meeting in an LA traffic jam and took their name from a brand of steamroller?
Buffalo Springfield.
Correct. Captain Beefheart's Magic Band's 67 album Safe as Milk featured which slide guitarist who recently left the Rising Suns?
Pass.
On the Beach Boys album Friends, what's the name of the track on which Brian Wilson sings about his humdrum day and gives detailed directions to his home?
Wind Chimes.
Busy Doing Nothing. Which song written by Kurt Weill with lyrics by Bertolt Brecht was covered by The Doors on their debut album that was released in 67?
Alabama Song.
Yes. The members of the Eagles first came together in 71 as part of whose backing band?
Jackson Browne.
Linda Ronstadt. On Love's 1970 album False Start, who makes a guest appearance with a guitar solo on the track The Everlasting First?
Pass.
The Flying Burrito Brothers covered which Jagger and Richards song on their 1970 Burrito Deluxe album?
Wild Horses.
Yes. Which musician produced Joni Mitchell's 68 debut album Song to a Seagull?
Dave Crosby.
Yes. The 6-minute track Southern Man on Neil Young's album After the Gold Rush is an attack against what?
Southern racism.
Yes. Formed in LA in 65, which band released the cult hit single I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night?
Electric Prunes.
Correct. Formerly part of a UK pop duo, which English producer was a leading force behind the 70s California sound, working with such artists as James Taylor and Linda Ronstadt?
Peter Asher.
Correct. Having come to prominence at the Monterey Pop Festival, which band had their biggest hit in 73 with The Joker?
Steve Miller Band.
Yes. Which Jackson Browne, I started, so I'll finish. Which Jackson Browne song that featured on his first album, released in 1972, was a top 10 hit in the UK for the Jackson 5 the following year?
Doctor My Eyes.
Dr. My Eyes is correct. You had 2 passes. Jimi Hendrix made that guest appearance, little-known guitarist. And Ray Kuda was the slide guitarist in question. 2 passes. Michael Williams, 10 points.
Thank you.
And our last contender, please. And your name is?
Chris Quinn,
Your occupation?
software developer.
And your chosen subject?
The history of forensic science.
Forensic science in 2 minutes. At the beginning of the 20th century, which French criminologist formulated the principle of detection that every contact leaves a trace?
Edmund Lockhart.
Correct. A test to detect which poison was developed in 1836 by James Marsh, a chemist at the Woolwich Arsenal.
Arsenic.
Yes, well, from what was Chief Inspector Burt of Scotland Yard able to obtain a sample of Joseph Williams' saliva when he was suspected of murdering Walter Dinavan?
Pass.
Which word is generally used to describe fingerprints found at a crime scene which have been caused by the oily nature of the skin, leaving an often invisible impression?
Latent.
Yes, in which Lancashire town did the police fingerprint every adult male to find the murderer of young June Devaney, who was abducted from hospital in 1948?
Blackburn.
Yes, which French law enforcement officer invented anthropometry, an identification system based on physical measurements?
Bertillon.
Correct. Which toxin was isolated by Jean Servet-Star following the murder of Gustave Fourny in 1850?
Pass.
Which forensic scientist gave evidence at many trials, including that of Crippen, but committed suicide in 1947?
Sir Bernard Spilsbury.
Yes, cyanosis is the medical name for the lack of which gas in the blood causing the skin to turn a bluish colour after death?
Oxygen.
Yes, which optical device was developed by the FBI agent Philip O. Gravel in order to assess accurately whether bullets had been fired from the same gun?
The comparison microscope.
Yes, which method of identification did Alec Jeffreys of Leicester University use to clear Richard Buckland, which led to the conviction of Colin Pitchfork for 2 murders in 1988?
DNA fingerprinting.
Yes, which firearms expert identified Frederick Brown's gun as the one used to murder PC George Gutteridge in Essex in 1927?
Churchill.
Yes. In the 1950s, Professor Stuart Kind was responsible for the widespread implementation of the absorption elution test, which looks for what kind of stain?
Bloodstains.
Yes. Bruno Hauptmann was convicted of the kidnap and murder of the Lindbergh baby, largely on evidence from which crudely made wooden item?
A ladder.
Yes. What's the medical term for the tendency of blood to sink to the lower parts of the body after death, producing a dark purple discoloration of the skin?
Lividity.
Yes. Which chemist... Finish the question, published his treatise on poisons in 1813, leading to him being widely credited as the founder of toxicology as a science?
Orphea.
Orphea is correct. You had 2 passes. It was nicotine that was isolated by Jean Servet-Star, and Chief Inspector Burt nailed Williams because of his cigarette butt. 2 passes. Christopher Quinn, 14 points. Thank you. So that's the end of the first round, the specialist bit. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 10 points, Michael Williams. 3rd place with 11 points, Nick Cockcroft. 2nd place with 12 points, close contest. This is Julie Bowring in the lead with 14 points, Chris Quinn. So round 2 now, the general knowledge one, and if there is a tie at the end, then the number of passes will be taken into account. Let's get on with it, and let me ask Michael Williams to join us again, please. And I've never been quite sure whether the California sound was created in California or taken there by lots of people who went to California.
Well, it's a mixture of the two, but I see it very much as an emanation of the spirit of Hollywood, really. And perhaps the first person to manufacture that sound was probably Phil Spector, but in the early 60s. But I think perhaps the key figures were the Byrds, who married the English style of beat music, the Beatles, with the intelligent lyricism of Bob Dylan, and created folk rock.
So they're more than just a bunch of hippies, really. Although...
Well, they were the sort of prototype hippie band. They had a quite different appearance to the British groups.
So it was good music, in your view?
Well, in my view, it's good music. Not the only good music, but it was good music.
Right. You have 10 points. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes. Bobby Fischer became the first American world champion at which game when he defeated Boris Spassky in November 72?
Chess.
Yes. Which song from South Pacific was memorably performed on the Morecambe and Wise Christmas show by all the male BBC newsreaders dressed as sailors?
Pass.
Which acid did the 19th century surgeon Joseph Lister pioneer the use of as an antiseptic?
Pass.
To which bird did John Keats write an ode that includes the line, "Thou wast not born for death, immortal bird"?
Nightingale.
Yes. What is the surname of the husband and wife who were re-elected as Conservative MPs for Macclesfield and Congleton, respectively, at the 2005 general election?
Winterton.
Correct. Charles de Gaulle once said of his native France, "How can you govern a country which has 246 varieties of what?"
Cheese.
Yes. Which gulf lies between Calabria, the toe of Italy, and Puglia, the heel?
Palermo.
Taranto. What name was given to the canoes Inuit men used for hunting and fishing?
Kayak.
Yes, which Dutch artist painted Jeremiah lamenting the destruction of Jerusalem in about 1630, now in the new Rijksmuseum?
Rembrandt.
Yes, which city is the capital of the Sudan?
Khartoum.
Correct. Salma Hayek played which Mexican artist in a 2002 film of her life?
Frida Kahlo.
Correct. At which annual sporting event is the Diamond Sculls Challenge Cup one of the oldest competitions?
Rowing.
I need more. Which annual
Sculls.
sporting event?
Sculls.
Henley Royal Regatta. Which Irish political party founded in 1933 by an amalgamation of two minor parties is also known as the United Ireland Party?
Fine Gael.
Yes. The dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy comes from which ballet?
Sleeping Beauty.
Nutcracker. Which novelist's father was Robert Evans, an agent for an estate in Warwickshire?
George Eliot.
Correct. What was the name of the equerry to King George VI with whom Princess Margaret fell in love but parted from because he was divorced?
Peter Townsend.
Correct. What's the current name of the top film award at the Cannes Film Festival?
Golden Award.
The Palme d'Or. Which dish named after an Italian composer, I'll finish the question, consists of a thick slice of fillet steak served on a fried crouton and topped with pâté de foie gras and truffles?
Pass.
Tornado Rossini. I can tell you your other two passes. That acid used as an antiseptic was phenol. And the song my colleagues sang on Morecambe and Wise all those years ago was There Is Nothing Like a Dame. And very silly it was too, but very funny. Michael Williams, 3 passes, 21 points. And now Nick Cockroft, please. Now a researcher, but you were in teaching.
I was for 17 years.
And you gave it up because?
It was not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and before I started to think about retirement and hanging on, I thought about a career change.
So it wasn't that you'd had enough of children's behaviour?
Children have always been badly behaved. And I think in 17 years I've seen quite a lot of bad behaviour and an awful lot of good behaviour.
That's a diplomatic answer, isn't it? You had 11 points with your knowledge of the expedition. 21 is the highest score we have at the moment. So let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes. For which children's television programme did Percy Thrower design the Italian sunken garden in 1978?
Blue Peter.
Yes, which Dublin-born painter was inspired to create a celebrated triptych by T.S. Eliot's poem Sweeney Agonistes, published in 1932?
Pass.
By what name is the Sultan Ahmed Mosque in Istanbul regarded as one of the greatest buildings of Islamic architecture generally known in English?
Pass.
Which government department is known by the initials DWP?
Department of Pensions and Works.
Yes, Work and Pensions. At the 2000 Sydney Games, who won the super heavyweight title to become Britain's first Olympic boxing gold medalist for 32 years?
Audley Harrison.
Correct. Which popular cooking and heating apparatus was invented by the Nobel Prize-winning Swedish physicist Niels Gustav Dahlén in 1922?
Pass.
In the Bible, who was ordered by God to leave his home in Ur to found a new nation?
Pass.
Which battle of 31st of May to 1st of June 1916 was the only major encounter between the British and German fleets in World War I?
Jutland.
Yes. What name is given to any muscle with 3 points of origin, particularly the large muscle extending along the back of the upper arm in humans?
Tricep.
Yes. Which actress, formerly married to Peter Sellers, sued Rod Stewart for millions of dollars in palimony after their relationship ended?
Britt Eklund.
Yes. Menelaus, the husband of Helen of Troy, was the king of which country?
Athens.
Sparta. Which Russian novel was the inspiration for Alexander Molin's 1994 novel Lara's Child?
Pass.
Which city is the capital of the Italian region of Liguria?
Leghorn.
Genoa. The name of which shade of blue, originally obtained from lapis lazuli, literally means beyond the sea?
Ultramarine.
Correct. Which French actor published a book of his favourite recipes in My Cookbook in 2005?
Gerard Depardieu.
Correct. In ceramics, what sort of glaze giving an orange peel-like texture is formed by throwing sodium chloride into the kiln, where it combines with the silica in the clay to give a glassy finish?
Pass.
Les Anois Lighthouse is situated off the coast of which of the Channel Islands?
Guernsey.
Guernsey is correct. You had 6 passes. Salt glaze is the particular glaze in ceramics. Dr. Zhivago was the Russian novel. Abraham was the chap God told to go off and found a new nation. The Aga, believe it or not, It was invented by a Nobel Prize winner. The Blue Mosque is the name of the Sultan Ahmed Mosque, at least that's how it's known. And Francis Bacon was the painter inspired by T.S. Eliot's poem. 6 passes, Nick Cockroft, 20 points. And now Julie Bowring, please. And you are a Canadian.
Yes, I am.
How long in this country?
Just for a year.
Oh, just a postgraduate year.
Yeah.
And you are passionate about Eugene Smith, the photographer, of whom many people will not know a great deal, I suspect.
I think he was much more well known many years ago. He died in 1979, and he is truly amazing. I mean, I started looking at Time's images of the year, and none of them were coming close to most of his work. And I think because he was in that first generation of getting truly candid photojournalism, just sort of small cameras in the background trying to get images of life without intruding too much into it. I mean, he's more than just a photojournalist in the sense that he went on to have a career in more art photography and did some remarkable things, but most well known for his photojournalism.
Right. Well, you knew a lot about him. 12 points you scored, 21 at the moment is the score to beat. Let's see if you can do it with your general knowledge. Where in London can the tomb of the unknown warrior be found?
At the Imperial War Museum.
Westminster Abbey. What term is used for the fat that comes from joints of meat, especially beef, when they're roasted and is often eaten cold on bread?
Dripping.
Yes, by what name was the actor born William Claude Duckenfield in Philadelphia, 29th of January 1880, better known?
Pass.
Which African country was invaded by Italian troops on 5th of October 1935?
Somalia.
Abyssinia, or Ethiopia. In the International Morse Code, which letter is represented by 3 dots?
O.
S. Derived from the Russian word for grandmother, what name is given to a triangular cotton headscarf?
Babushka.
Yes, what's the 4th of the traditional provinces of Ireland, along with Ulster, Munster and Connaught?
Limerick.
Leinster. Built in 1918 on a converted merchant ship hull, HMS Argus is generally considered to be one of the world's first warships of which class?
Pass.
Mercury is one of the planets closer to the Sun than the Earth. Which is the other?
Venus.
Yes, which herbs, along with parsley and sage, are mentioned in the song Scarborough Fair, popularised by Simon and Garfunkel?
Rosemary and Thyme.
Yes, who said in 1935, when asked to encourage Catholicism in his country as a way of conciliating the Pope, how many divisions has he got?
Pass.
Who first made the UK charts with Shake, Rattle and Roll, which reached number 4 in 1954?
Elvis.
Bill Haley. What name is given to a relatively shallow stretch of water, partly or completely separated from the sea by a sand or shingle bank or a coral reef?
Lagoon.
Yes, in which religion is the spring festival of Holi celebrated?
Pass.
The abbreviation AUC, standing for Ab Urbe Condita, signifies 753 BC, the year when which city, according to tradition, was built?
Troy.
Rome. Which American comedy series featured the shockhead Cosmo Kramer, who lived in the apartment opposite that of the title character?
Seinfeld.
Yes, in which church activity is the leader of the team called the Tower Captain?
Pass.
With a name derived from the Old French for piece broken off, which fine-grained rock that splits readily into thin slabs is widely used for roof tiles and the beds of snooker tables?
Slate.
Slate. You sounded doubtful, but slate it is, indeed. You had 5 passes. The Tower Captain is involved in bell ringing or campanology. Hinduism has the holy festival. W.C. Fields was William Claude Duckenfield. Joseph Stalin said, how many divisions has the Pope got? And an aircraft carrier is what HMS Argus was the first of. 5 passes. Julie Bowring, 19 points. And Chris Quinn, finally, please. Oh, forensic science, a subject about which we all now know everything because there's so much of it on the telly.
Exactly, yes.
It did exist a little bit before television, of course, didn't it? Was it 1247 when the Chinese got it going?
There were instances. A man was found dead, hacked to death, and they determined that he'd been attacked using a scythe. So they collected all the local farmers, asked them to bring their scythes with them on a hot sunny day, and stood them in the middle of a field and saw which scythe attracted the flies. It had traces of blood on it. They said to the man, "Looks like we've got you," and he confessed. I presume he was executed.
Yeah.
shortly afterwards.
With or without a scythe. Well, you have 14 points. 21 is still the score to beat. Let's see if you can do it with your general knowledge. Which fungus is used in beer and wine manufacture to produce alcohol and in bread making to produce carbon dioxide?
Yeast.
Yes, known as the First Lady of Country Music, which singer died aged 55 in April 98?
Tammy Wynette.
Yes, which Middle Eastern people found in parts of Turkey, Iraq and Iran claim to be descended from the Medes of Persia?
The Kurds.
Yes, where did the 17th century antiquarian John Aubrey discover the 56 shallow holes that were subsequently named after him?
Stonehenge.
Yes, which French queen was implicated in the scandal of the 1780s known as the Affair of the Diamond Necklace?
Marie Antoinette.
Correct. Who in the works of Homer is the god of dreams and has come to personify sleep?
Hypnos.
Morpheus. Which British naturalist was arrested in 1983 while he was protesting against the building of the Gordon Below Franklin Dam in the Tasmanian rainforest?
Pass.
At which battle was the Santissima Trinidad, at the time the largest ship in the world, captured by the British?
Pass.
Which Spanish painter's works include the Surrender of Breda and the Toilet of Venus, known as the Rokeby Venus?
Goya.
Velázquez. In the television series Dad's Army, what was the occupation of Private Fraser?
Undertaker.
Yes, which member of the royal family spent a year at the Salem School in South Germany between leaving Cheam Prep School in 1928 and entering Gordonston?
Pass.
What is the name of the 3,800-metre high active volcano on Ross Island in the Antarctic?
Pass.
Toby Stevens, who played the villainous Gustav Graves in the Bond film Die Another Day, is the son of the actor Sir Robert Stevens, and which actress?
Pass.
What name did the designer Elsa Schiaparelli give to the vivid shade of pink she popularised in the 1930s?
Shocking pink.
Correct. The rank of Provost Marshal is held by the commander of which branch of the British Army?
Pass.
Which semi-autobiographical novel by Jack Kerouac describes the wanderings across America of the writer Sal Paradise and his friend Dean Moriarty?
On the Road.
Correct. What's the first name of Michael Schumacher's brother, who's also a Formula One driver?
Ralph.
Correct. Which film director was responsible? I'll finish the question for No Direction Home, the television documentary about Bob Dylan's early years.
Coppola.
No, Scorsese. You had 6 passes. Royal Military Police, that's who have the Provost Marshal. Maggie Smith is Toby Stevens' mother. Mount Erebus is that big volcano on Ross Island. Prince Philip went to Salem School in South Germany. The Santissima Trinidad was captured at the Battle of Trafalgar. And David Bellamy was arrested while he was protesting in Tasmania. 6 passes, but Chris Quinn, 23 points. So let's have a look at all the scores. In 4th place, this is a very close contest. 19 points, Julie Bowring. In 3rd place, 20 points, Nick Cockroft. 2nd place, 21 points, Michael Williams. 1st place, 23 points, Chris Quinn. Which means, of course, that Mr. Quinn goes through to the 2nd round. Congratulations to him. Do join us next week for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Are you on a diet? Size matters later on BBC Two when Jack Peretti explores the diet industry. Meet the men who made us thin tonight at 9. Roses, rhubarb and raspberries. Just some of the treats to come when the A to Z of TV gardening reaches the letter R next.